Right.
Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to another edition of the Sugar Show. Today with Corin and I, we have all the way from lovely Australia, we have the Merrymakers Sisters. So Emma and Carla are sisters from Canberra, and they make up the amazing duo of the Merrymakers Sisters. So they are health and happiness bloggers, real food developers, and passionate health coaches who actually gave up their own 9 to 5 jobs in order to follow their bliss. They also have their own nutrition journey as well, which we'll obviously delve a little bit into in this interview. They were recently a part of that Paleo Way tour that was led by Chef Pete Evans in Australia. And they've also been named one of the top 15 women to follow in Canberra and have a mass social media following. And we'll link everything at the end of this as well. So welcome, Emma and Carla. Thank you so much for being on.
Yay! Thank you for having us. We're super excited.
I just love the fact that you two are hanging out in your pajamas. I mean, I'm all for authenticity, so this is really, really rocking my world, I promise you. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Welcome to the show, ladies. I want to know how you guys got started on your journey of merrymaking.
Yeah, well, it all started back in 2012, and that was when we sort of discovered the whole paleo world way of living, I guess. So I was feeling sick every day, tired, lethargic, and someone told me about paleo, and Carla and I both started eating that way, and it was literally like 4 weeks later, we felt amazing. And Carla just started sharing stuff on her Instagram, didn't you?
Yeah, I was just posting photos of like recipes that we'd been creating. I was like, it's sugar-free, it's gluten-free, it's grain-free. And people just started asking for the recipes, and that got us super excited. And we were like, well, where can we put these recipes? Is there some way we can share them more easily? So we Googled how to start a blog. And that's pretty much like how we began the Merrymaker Sisters. And so it was super awesome because we found this way of living that made us feel so good inside and out. And then we could combine like our passion for like writing and creating and communicating with other people, as well as this passion for healthy living and finding, you know, that a healthier, happier way to live, which is what paleo was for us, together.
And yeah, and we haven't really looked back since.
And when did this journey start?
Yeah, so paleo started in mid-2012, and then we started the website in late 2012, I think like December.
Yeah.
And we were doing it part-time, so we'd work full-time in our government jobs and then come home and get on the computer again and blog all night. And then last year, in about July, that was when we quit our regular jobs just to merrymake full-time. And it's been amazing.
Yay! And what I love about you guys is that it's not just about the nutrition. It really is about empowering people to start believing in themselves. I mean, what motivated you to go that route as well?
Yeah, well, I think basically throughout our journey, like it all started with food, but then we realized that this food and this writing was our passion, and it was our bliss. It was our reason for being here on this planet. And having that 9 to 5 regular job was really this drag on us, and it was making us unhealthy. I mean, we were eating all this great food and we were exercising. We should have been the epitome of health.
And I guess like we just believe that, you know, what we do every day has just as much impact on our health as in like the food we're eating. So if we're in these jobs that we absolutely hate, we're doing everything wrong, and like we're not going towards our passion or what we love doing, we're doing everything in the opposite direction, it's going to have a negative impact on our health because we're going to be depressed, we're going to be sad.
Well, the kind of conversations we'd have in our heads are like, I have to get up, I have to go to work, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. So like that, like, you know, going around in your head around and around, it's not going to be good for you. So I guess we realized that if we could turn those thoughts around, and if we could, you know, be happy, like we have happy conversations in our minds and be doing what we love to do, then that would just grow, and that our health would expand, not just because of the food, but because of what we were doing. So yeah, mindset and finding your purpose plays such a huge part, we think, in your overall health and happiness.
So taking that leap of faith must have been petrifying. Do you have any like tips or tricks or tools for people wanting to change the direction of their life? Because the thing that we hear the most is that I'm petrified. I'm so scared. So how can you, you know, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I guess when we actually did quit, we actually were not scared at all because we flipped it in our heads. Instead of being scared of the unknown of, you know, not working 9 to 5 and not having that stable salary, we looked at it as, okay, if we look in the future, we're both like, you know, in our 50s, we've worked our lives in these jobs we hate. Whoa, that is the scariest thought that we've ever thought. Like, just to think we're at this age where it's like, oh, we want to retire, but we've done nothing with our lives. So actually that was more frightening and the bigger risk in the end. So we just thought, if we don't give it a go now, like, what are we waiting for?
Yeah, it would be like one of those, you know, oh, what if we tried it? What if? So we just couldn't do that to ourselves. And I think the way we dealt with that was that mind flip of looking at fear instead of not going towards that fear, looking at fear as our compass and that it's showing us the right direction and that, oh, okay, I'm really frightened of that, I'm really scared, but maybe I just should go towards it and I should do it anyway, give it a shot, and then maybe magical things will happen. And they did. So
yeah, and I think also we just knew that we were going to make it work. We knew that it was going to be hard. And we knew that there were gonna be things that went wrong, but we knew that if this direction didn't work, we're gonna go another direction. So, and I think having each other to support each other, like that really helps.
So, I mean, we always say to people who want to go and embark on a new career or make a change, like find someone who wants to do a similar thing or like who wants to make a change as well, and you can be accountability buddies and help each other out when times do get tough and when you do fall back down into like, you know, that negative headspace, because we still do it. Like there'll be days where I'll be like, oh, what the hell are we doing? Like, I have no idea, and Em will pick me back up. So I think it's really important to have someone who you can turn to.
That's amazing. And how did you guys, I mean, stumble upon the paleo diet? Like, where did that come from? Because there's so many things to choose from.
Yeah, super random actually. So when I was sort of like looking into my health, I was looking into my health and looking at like gluten-free because I was feeling sick every day, and I actually got told that I had a gluten intolerance. So I was like, okay, that's the first tick, get rid of gluten. And then I think it was like a week later or maybe 2 weeks later, someone at work told me about paleo. Then someone at the gym told me about paleo, and then I also got a random email forward about it. And this was like in the space of a couple days. So I was like, definitely need to look into this. And I sent like all the information to Carla because we worked together at the time. Yeah. And she like pretty much just chucked out the rice crackers.
Yeah, I was eating a rice cracker like while I was reading these emails from Emma, and I was just like, oh my God. Threw it in the bin. I was like, it's the last rice cracker I'm ever going to eat.
But yeah, so that's how we found paleo. And I mean, like our whole paleo, I guess, journey has changed so much. And like everyone, you know, you start off eating this way and then it sort of evolves and looks a little bit different. Yeah. But I mean,
yeah, because that's what we always say, like, there's no one right way to eat. Like, it's about figuring out what your body needs and what makes it feel its best. So, I mean, we went through a super low-carb phase, and then that wasn't quite working for us, so we added more sweet potato. Now we've added, like, sprouted grains sometimes and things like that. So, yeah, it's just really about eating real food, isn't it?
Yeah, that's number one, real food. And no sugar.
No sugar!
Karen, can I just jump in quickly just to ask the girls? So you girls put out a really amazing blog post, and Karen, I might hopefully link it in the notes as well, about where you guys were at with your nutrition before you found paleo, and I think that's really important, particularly. So do you mind just talking us through kind of what your nutrition was like before you found it, and then how that made you feel and that type of thing?
Yeah, I guess like looking back, I mean, it starts probably when we just got teenagers, like went into teenagers.
Yeah,
like
I didn't think like younger.
Yeah,
for me.
I think for Carla because I was a bit older, so Carla sort of like came along the journey with me. So I mean, we were like trying every fad diet from age like 13 and 11. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it was just like this internal like conversation in our heads being like, you need to lose weight, you need to be thinner, you need to look this way, and what diet's going to work. So we tried everything. And I think
it was like, would it have been 2012?
Yeah, early
Early
2012.
2012, when I had this friend and she was going on this 12-week eating challenge to become like a bikini model. And she was like, oh, you lose all this weight. It's amazing. You'll drop 10 kilos like that. And I was like, oh, my God, get me this diet. It sounds amazing.
And then I was like, excuse me, what about me? I need to do this as well.
Yeah. So basically it was 12 weeks of eating chicken, broccoli, protein shakes, rice crackers. We were allowed an apple. And
every now and
again, and some strawberries. And 12 weeks later, we dropped the 10 kilos. We'd never been thinner, and we'd never been sicker in our lives. We were cold all the time.
Yeah.
We were moody. We were tired.
We pretty much like couldn't do anything. So it was like we had these like perfect bodies, but we were too tired to even get dressed or go out it was just ridiculous.
I couldn't even walk 200 meters. Like I was like, that's too much. I just want to go and sit down and eat my lunch.
And while we were doing this 12-week eating plan as well, we did like weight session every day and high intensity interval training every day. So it was like not only like it was like a 1,200 calorie diet plus we were working out so much.
2 hours a day.
So it was just insane. And I mean, not only were we tired and cold, but then like both our periods just stopped completely. And I mean, they only just came back like this year, and that's just from our.
So that's three years.
Yeah, like that's ridiculous.
So that was
that is insane.
So that happened, and then that again. So we were still doing this 12-week thing when found paleo and was like, this is the better way. Like, because we were like, there has to be a better way. Why are we cold? Why are we tired? We thought we were healthy, and then found it, and we started eating that way, and it was like, and it was instant for us. Like we were like, oh my God, like eating doesn't have to be this negative routine that we were so used to for 6 years prior.
Yeah. And I think like that's almost the best thing that has happened from eating paleo. Like instead of this like negative head thing where we're like hating ourselves and just trying to lose weight and counting all the calories and working out if we've exercised enough, like that just disappeared. And then that actually allowed us to have more time and energy to think about other stuff like our passion and what we wanted to do with our lives.
Amazing. Corin, sorry, I just totally jumped in there with the questions. Do you want to keep going, or do you want? Okay.
No, go.
So amazing that we both sometimes jump in. So, we obviously. So I mean, and it sounds like I've had so many people have had similar, trying to follow it that way, and I think as well you probably find that you guys were really low on fat. So obviously that's why. You're experiencing a lot of what you experience. So we're now almost 2 weeks into the sugar-free challenge that we have, and we have around about 8,000 people signed up with us. So
amazing.
I know, and people are doing so well, but for a lot of people it's still very new to them. So do you guys remember what it was like in the beginning for you kind of giving up that sort of sugar thing? And do you mind just sort of talking us through it and then how you got through that kind of initial sort of few weeks, if you like?
Yeah. I guess like at the start it was a little bit weird because we did eat a lot of sugar before.
Which we didn't realize that we did.
Yeah, and I think like that initial stage you don't really feel that good. Your body's sort of reacting and are like, what the hell are you doing to me? I'm not used to this real food.
Yeah. And I think especially it was always like this 3 p.m. thing for me.
Yeah.
As 3 p.m. would hit and I'd be like, I just want my lollies, like like snakes or something like that. Like because I just need a sugar hit. Like and it was hard to not have that.
So what we did is that when we first started eating this way, we didn't just be like, okay, we're only going to eat vegetables and meat sort of thing, like the best version of paleo apparently. Like we indulged and made delicious paleo sweet treats. And like early days, like they probably had a lot of honey in them and they had maple and dates. And like they are really high in natural sugars, but it is a really perfect way to sort of transition off, you know, like bad sugars and that processed food.
Yeah, so we we still had like a lot of natural sugars, and then like as our journey went on, we were like slowly, you know, cutting back that intake and using less in our sweet treats, or just in like eating less during the day. And then we got to a point where we were like, well, let's try sweetener free, like no natural sweeteners and no nothing. Like let's just use like what we can with the ingredients, like coconut and things like that. Because for us, by that time, coconut was like sweet.
Yeah, so that was like just this year though. So like that's like well and truly into the way we've eaten. So, like now we don't add like any sweetener into our sweet treat recipes, and like other people are loving them too. But then we have our old recipes with lots of natural sugars. So that's better for like the
newbie.
Yeah, the just transitioning.
Yeah, and I think it is like it's important because it needs to be an enjoyable experience as well. You don't like the whole point of like, you know, eating healthy is so you feel good and so you feel happier. And if it's just going to become a negative thing where you're like punishing yourself for eating too many dates or too many bananas, like I don't think that necessarily is good for your mental head space as much as, you know, you could choose something better for your body, but for your brain maybe not. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we get you. I love it. Well, that just talking about the sort of the, you know, you girls and what you were talking about with Karen is the mentality side of it, and we're very much, you know, we're everyone to get a healthy body, but also looking at the mind aspect, as you were saying as well. You know, we're really, really big on that, and obviously Karen as well is amazing on that side of it. So how much do you think sort of positivity, even just having that kind of positive attitude, actually can help with your nutrition journey?
Oh my gosh. It seriously like makes or breaks it, I think. Like
like affirmations for us changed our lives completely. Like we, like, you know, the conversation we used to have in our heads, I'm not thin enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I want to be like that person, I want to be like her, why did I do that? And always so hard on ourselves. And then when I think we read Louise Hay's book and we watched her documentary, we saw the start of that documentary and it was us in that documentary. Like, oh my gosh, we do that. And just learning how simple it is to flick that around and tell yourself, no, I'm beautiful and I'm amazing and I'm going to go and have an amazing day. You end up having an amazing day because you've told yourself that you're going to, and you start seeing the good in everything. And it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time to like get that into a natural habit, and we still slip back as well. But I mean, it not only helps with your nutrition journey, it just helps in every aspect of life. I mean, we always put other people first, and we treat people really like most people treat other people really well, but we treat ourselves not so good. So I think we all need to like really take action to be like, okay, I'm gonna love myself, number one. I'm going to treat myself amazingly, and I'm going to feed my body amazing food as well to go with it, and then you're going to give the best of yourself to everyone else as well. And I think like once you sort of it clicks in your head, you're like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. And just every action you do is in a more positive manner then.
Definitely. And I think so, again, you can tell I've been reading your blog a lot the past little while. But one practice, and I know that myself and Karen do this, and we've been trying to encourage people to do this as well, is journaling and gratitude kind of list and things. And I know you guys were on a recent, I don't know if you call it a retreat or something like that, but I know we're Lewis House, and Cara knows my love for Lewis House as well.
Amazing.
You guys blogged recently on a really cool sort of gratitude I suppose journaling way of doing it. Do you mind just taking us through kind of why that's important, sort of how it can help, and then just briefly sort of what this gratitude, you know, exercise is and how people could actually do it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I guess like the idea with gratitude is that the more you're grateful, the more you have grateful to be for. So, you know, when you start to notice things that you're grateful for, like the fresh air or that you have a car to drive to work or that the sun is shining, you start to just notice all the good things. And it might be that those things were always there, or it might be that those things are coming to you because you're kind of welcoming them into your life because you're acknowledging them that they're there. So I guess, like, yeah, another way of, like, being conscious of being grateful for things was a lesson that we learned from Lewis House.
So Lewis took us through this exercise, which was so good and it's so simple. I think, like, a lot of people, and us included, you know, you find yourself saying things like, I need to finish this work, or I have to finish this work today. I have to go pay these bills, or I have to go pick up the kids maybe. And he just told us to start switching the have tos. What was the first one?
Well, the first one was I choose to.
Yes.
So I choose to go to work today. I choose to wake up. I choose to eat nourishing food. I choose to pick up the kids.
Yeah.
But then he went a step further.
Yeah, and then it was I'm blessed to. So, and then you give a reason why. So it's like, I'm blessed to pay the bill for my mortgage because I have a roof over my head. I'm blessed to go pick up my kids from school because I have 2 healthy kids. And it just makes you be like, oh, like
one that we always use. We are blessed to check our inbox because we have people wanting to talk to us.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, oh my God, I have so many emails. And then I'm like, hang on a second. We are blessed to have so many emails.
And we say it to everything now, and it's just like makes us smile straight away.
Yeah. So, like, and it'll be like one of us picking the other one up on it. Like, Emma will be like, oh, we have to go do this. And I was like, no, Emma. We're blessed. So, and, like, if blessed doesn't suit you, we also added another word. We are stoked. We're stoked to go for a walk today and stoked to exercise.
Yeah, and it really works.
Oh, I love that. As I say, I saw that and I thought this is absolutely amazing. And I think that, you know, as we said, the nutrition side of it and the body side of it and giving up the sugar is kind of one aspect, but it's hard, you know, and we have so many people just now, and it's kind of like you know what you should be doing, but that's easier said than done. So I think having these, you know, kind of practices and that type of thing is, you know, really, really sort of beneficial on that side. Do you have any other kind of, for sort of the mind aspect, any other kind of tricks or tips or anything around those sides that you maybe do on a day-to-day basis, or particularly if you ever you know, maybe eat something that you perhaps know you shouldn't, and that type of thing? How do you deal with the kind of sort of the guilt that can come from there and the getting off the tracks and that type of thing?
I think we're really big believers on that the time is now and all we have is right here and right this moment. So that really helps in when you eat something that you maybe didn't want to eat or that isn't in line with what you were wanting to eat for the month, that's happened and you can't change it. So don't waste now, this moment, on feeling guilty, because there's really no point, because you're never going to get these minutes back.
Yeah.
And it goes for, again, the future.
Yeah.
And feeling anxious about what you're going to eat next.
Yeah. So I guess, like, if we make a bad decision with something we've eaten, we focus on the now and we focus on whatever our next meal is going to be. It's going to be a really good one.
Yeah.
So I think, that's the best method to deal with things like that, I think.
Because, I mean, prior to thinking like that, how we do it, we, like, for example, on a weekend binge, which was quite common every weekend, we'd eat corn chips and we'd eat M&Ms and we'd be like, oh, well, we've eaten this already, we may as well have some ice cream.
Eat all the cake, eat all the pizza.
We may as well get
Saturday,
this.
Sunday.
We called Friday Fat Friday. We used to do that, like, because we were like, whatever, like, we're just going to feed our bodies whatever and not give a damn. But then on Monday we'd feel absolutely crap.
And so guilty.
Beat ourselves up about it. It's just about, so if you eat something not so good, make your next decision a really amazing meal that's filled with nourishing ingredients that's going to make you feel awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect. And just as a kind of, I think we've sort of been asking a few people this, but do you guys yourself maybe have the odd time where you perhaps eat something that you think you shouldn't? I think it's just a show. So a lot of people think that, you know, particularly myself and Karen, that we never go off or we never do these things. But we're all human at the end of the day. So
Exactly.
yeah.
I think. Oh, I was going to say what we definitely do sometimes. I mean, lately we've been enjoying a couple corn chips because corn chips are amazing.
So yum. And guacamole.
Yeah, and I mean, like alcohol. Like alcohol is not good for us. We all know this, but far out it can be fun sometimes. So like we do enjoy the odd cocktail or odd wine.
Yeah.
And like when we're on holidays, it's probably not an odd wine. It's probably many wines. and we choose to make that decision. We know it's not good for us, and we know we're gonna feel bad tomorrow. Like a bit hungover maybe, but like we just embrace it and be like, we are going to make this decision, and we're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like you've got to consciously say, I'm doing this because I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm not gonna make myself feel guilty about it afterwards because. Like, then what's the point? Like, you're not, like, you've got to enjoy it, and then you've got to enjoy the moments afterward as well. Like, I just think that's super important. And, yeah, fun is also number one. We've put fun pretty high up there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for health and happiness, fun is very important. So I think, like, if someone, or if, like, if we want to drink alcohol or we want to have the chips and guacamole, we're just going to have a heap of fun and do it. And definitely not feel bad about it.
Definitely, and I think that's a really good way to kind of look at it, because you don't want to get on the flip side and get very, very obsessive with kind of that regimented, sort of eating with everything. And I really like that, kind of sort of living in the now with it. So I think we're coming up almost on time. Before we ask the final few questions, I think Corin, I can see her putting her little hand up, wants to kind of come back in and ask you questions. So I'm going to oh, you guys are so infectious, I love it. Corin, do you have some more questions before we wrap up?
I wanted to ask you guys your top 5 affirmations to share with, other people, because a lot of people can't think of their own. So to give you some ideas to start. 5.
Okay.
Do we?
Well, oh gosh, 5.
Do we have our?
We actually have. Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna go get it.
She's gonna go get. We made this new thing that we love. Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, it's so pink. I love it.
It's so pink. Everything's so pink.
Okay, so these are our Merrymaker Mantras. So we thought we were writing a Merrymaker manifesto, but we ended up writing Merrymaker Mantras. So we'll read them out. I choose to eat food that will nourish my body and make me feel my best.
The time is now. I spend my time doing things I love.
I say yes to adventures, laughter, dreams, and fun.
I follow my purpose.
Life is too short to say no to dessert. I just make mine merry.
I choose peace.
What I focus on grows like a flower.
This is my life. This is my time.
I share my happiness with the world.
I am grateful.
I deserve epic, amazing, magical love.
And I am blessed to exercise each and every day.
That's amazing.
That is so beautiful. Are you guys going to be sharing that on your website?
Yeah, well, it's part of our opt-in. So, like, when people sign up, they get this for free, so they can print it out and pin it up on their mirror or their pin board or just on their desktop for their computers and things like that. So, yeah, it's actually, people have been really loving them, and it's awesome because we thought that we just needed the affirmations, but it turns out lots of people do.
Oh, I love that. And where can people find you, especially South African people who may not have heard of you guys before? Where can they find you?
Yeah, we're over at the merrymakersisters.com, and we just always send people there. Just find us there, and then everywhere else you'll find us from there.
I'd highly encourage as well for everyone to follow you guys on your Instagram, because you put out really amazing quotes and kind of daily sort of affirmations on there. So we'll link all that there. But for anyone, for anyone that's kind of like Corin said, I think sometimes it can be a struggle to think of some affirmations sometimes because you can't see past maybe the negativity. So to see it written down, and they're amazing. I absolutely, truly, truly love those.
We love sharing them every night. It's like our favorite part of the day.
So much
Like,
fun.
what's quiz time?
So just as kind of a question as well, come back to the sugar. What would you say are your 3 tips for giving up sugar? And it doesn't just have to be nutrition side, but just comes to everything. What would you share as your 3 top tips for living sugar-free?
Yeah. I think number 1 is to be prepared, so you don't like find yourself in those times where you're really wanting to eat something a little bit sweet and you have nothing, and then you go to the vending machine and get the bad chocolate. Just have a few snacks in your bag, healthy things, have a few dates or a piece of fruit, or make a delicious cake or something. Healthy cake.
Yeah. I guess number 2 would probably be like, look for inspiration. So don't just think that you're on this road by yourself, because there's lots of people embarking on the same thing, like Sugar-Free September. So look for that. Like, search for friends online or like people in your neighborhood doing the same thing and connect with them. I think that will really help.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, what would be the last one? Do you think
I guess like experiment. Like, I think we always say that, like, experiment with new recipes and make it fun. Like, make getting back in the kitchen, like, so you might miss your packaged chocolate bar or something like that. But, you can recreate something that's probably more delicious than that packaged product.
Yeah, and I think whenever you add fun into, a journey, you don't dread it. You actually look forward to it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what really helped us along our sort of way, stumbling through paleo and saying goodbye to sugar, was that we just had fun and we did it together. So definitely, like, finding a friend to do it with, even, like, so you can swap recipe ideas and get in the kitchen together. Super fun.
Perfect. Those are amazing. I absolutely love those answers. Oh, you make me feel so empowered. I think we're having a fun time. Unless, Karen, do you have anything else to add or ask?
I just want to say thank you, ladies, for like being super cool and young and hip and happening and carrying this in your pajamas, carrying this amazing message and just being magical, because you are being so authentic. So, like, massive respect from me. I think you guys rock.
Thank you so much.
Definitely. Thank you, girls,
so much
so
fun.
much. Oh, thank you, girls, so much for being on, and it's lovely to see you guys again. I also had the delight of meeting, sadly, just Emma and obviously Cameron. I didn't get to meet Carla whilst I was there, but it's so lovely to see you, and you guys are just doing phenomenal work. So please keep it up, and definitely set myself up for my day. So thank you, girls, and I think that is all from us, Car.
Yep, say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.